This is the laid back Jack from Jack Wolf Knives. It's a beautiful modern rendition of the swayback Jack. Swayback Jack is a somewhat common traditional slip joint pattern that includes a Wharncliffe blade and then a handle that curves up, and that's what the swayback refers to in the name. And implied is that you hold it like this and you can use it for carving and peeling and whittling and all sorts, but it's also very comfortable in this position. Always has been one of my absolute favorite traditional patterns, slip joint patterns. I have a number of them. I'll show you in a minute. But nothing like this. I don't have any, well, no, that's not true. But nothing like this with this modern build. So Ben Belkin of Jack Wolf Knives has a good number of designs. Go to his website, jackwolfknives.com, and check it out. He's got a number of designs. He's got 6 of them already produced, which are being released on a sort of monthly basis. And this is the second release. This will be coming out mid-May. And so probably, I think in about a week when this goes up. I'm not sure exactly when this will be going up. But I say modern in that, you look at this, it's a very traditional design, much like, let's say, this Case Knives swayback Jack, or a little bit like this Great Eastern Cutlery, though this one isn't a swayback. But the difference is the titanium, these beautiful slabs of titanium, which make the liner and the integral bolster, and a very rigid construction. Everything is seamless. I mean, you can barely see where the blade and the spring made up. You definitely cannot feel it. And you just get amazing action. There it is at the half stop, M390 blade steel. Flat at the half stop, which is what a lot of slip joint guys really look for. It's a sign of quality and attention. It's not, it's not a deal breaker for me when it comes to slip joints, but on something nice and premium and luxury like this, yeah, definitely I want that. Why, Bob? It's not functional. It has nothing to do with function. Yeah, it doesn't, but it's a luxurious detail that takes a lot of extra engineering and design and attention to get. Sorry, I will be periodically cleaning this thing off. That does drive me nuts. Fingerprints on blades, but it's unavoidable. So yeah, this is a very, very nice walk and talk. Very good action. Very gratifying to open and close. Just like we have our, drop shutty knives that are so pleasing to use. There's a certain pleasing nature in opening and closing one of these manual traditional knives, slip joint knives. When they're done right, they have an amazing feel. And this certainly does. Okay, so as you saw before, this is M390 blade steel. And like its predecessor, the Sharpshooter Jack, which I'll bring in here in a second, it's full height hollow grind, something that frankly I only ever see on the inexpensive workman editions of Case Knives. They have high hollow, all the way full height hollow grind blades, but they're not ground like this. I mean, this is tremendously thin and just incredibly sharp and slicey and thin behind the edge. Actually, that just poked me ever so slightly. This would be a great splinter knife. And then you look at that edge is perfectly even all the way across. Same thing on this side, perfectly even all the way across and perfectly straight. No wavering in the final sharpening to deform that straightness. Beautiful swedge there. I love the grind lines on these blades. Here's the Sharpshooter Jack in that fat carbon, that blue antimatter fat carbon. This is a broader blade, but still has that full height hollow grind and that really awesome sharpening notch. I love the sharpening notches. They look great. I think that triangular shape looks great. Also outstanding walk and talk. So each time, hang on. All right, hang on, Bob. Finish. So the sharpening notch, since it's so thin behind the edge and hollow ground, you can really sharpen up to all the way up to that sharpening notch. If you were to use this for the rest of your life, hard, you could sharpen that thing all the way up there and still have a thin behind the edge blade, similar to this knife. Now, the other thing I was going to say is that they're all the models will be offered in black canvas micarta, green canvas micarta, and tan canvas micarta, all beautiful. And then one variety of fat carbon. The one on the laid back Jack is beautiful. It's a green, what do they call it? I don't know, some sort of green carbon fiber. It has a really cool look to it. I might have to spring double, not spring, but you know what I mean. Buy one in that green carbon fiber. So beautiful. This was a gift from Ben, and greatly appreciated. This has not left my pocket. This has only replaced this. This was glued to not my side, but glued to the inside of my pocket in the carry case. Oh no, actually this one is this carry case for a month and a half until I got this one, and then this one has been in my pocket. And I'm loving how it's starting to take on a little bit of my Phil signature here, to quote Advanced Knife Bro, and it's starting to patina a bit. Beautiful construction on these. Between the micarta and the bolster, the fluted bolster, by the way, that's not just an integral titanium bolster. That is a fluted integral titanium bolster. And fluting in the bolster is another thing. Guys who like this stuff also like that, fluting and other details. This is, what do they call this? A bald end, because it only has a bolster on one side, whereas this has the bolster on two sides. Man, these knives are amazing. I really, really love them. Collect them all. That's going to be my theory with these. Ben's attention to detail, his love of slip joint knives, and his incredible collection. He is a connoisseur of custom-made slip joint knives and has some doozies. So that and his collecting, what he learned through collecting and obsessing as a collector, has been translated into these knives. And thing about it is that he has gone above and beyond. He didn't just design a knife or two or six. He's actually done more than 12, I believe, but he has got 6 good, ready to go, basically. He didn't just design one knife and have it made. And believe me, I am like, that is no mean feat. That is a difficult thing to do. But Ben is a company builder. That's one of the things he loves doing. And so he like, part of starting Jack Wolf Knives was to start Jack Wolf Knives, not just to put out models, you know what I mean, as he can. He started the whole company and launched it as a developed thing. For instance, here's his really nice packaging. It's a soft touch box with embossed, you know, labeling, and then you get the sweet tube with the custom artwork that he does for each new model with an acclaimed comic book artist, Laid Back Jack, love that. And then you open it up and it's a whole experience. You get a pog in here, collect each one, you know, you get a pog. And sorry, I didn't mean to drop that. And then the knife itself comes wrapped up in a microfiber cloth. The last one was orange. This one is mint green, rather pleasing to the eye. And then in here is a sticker just for this model. Jack has your back. Actually, this could work on all the models, I'm thinking. But just a great, great experience. And if you're a collector, I love the tubes, the Great Eastern Cutlery tubes. And this just takes it another step. Those GEC tubes are great with the old looking wax paper in there. I love that, and it adds to the fact that a Great Eastern Cutlery really looks like an old knife and is produced on old machines and all of that. This is a modern take on a classic design. And what I like is that he uses his expertise to tweak the design from the traditional ever so slightly. Like, to me, this one is less swayed back, but there's still a curve to that, but less, for instance, even than this one. So little design tweaks. He put some great design tweaks into here too, making this a concave surface, making this more ergonomic. And this is already a very ergonomic handle, the traditional gunstock Jack. So I like all of that. I love that this isn't too modern looking. I do like many of the Fox and Lion Steel slip joints, but some of them look too modern for my eye. At that point, it's like, well, I don't know. But anyway, I really like the design balance he's struck with the modern materials and build. Really incredible. Who makes it, you ask? He had some prototypes made at a number of different places, but the people who he has signed with, he is contractually bound to keep it a secret. So whoever they are, they make an awesome knife. They really make an awesome knife. This thing is incredible. Let me show it to you quickly with some of my favorite swaybacks. This one, as I mentioned before, is the chestnut bone, I believe it is, case swayback Jack with the chrome vanadium steel. This is, if you get a case, I highly recommend you get them in the chrome vanadium steels, because they only have a couple of lines of chrome vanadium steel knives, and they take special attention on them. They're better. They're just better knives overall than their stainless steel. That's what I have observed. Here it is with two awesome little GECs that have that same blade shape, the number 6 and the number 19. And I love these little guys. These are great little fifth pocket knives. See that same lineage. I do love the swedge on the laid back Jack, man. I'm glad he put that swedge on there. These are cool. Okay, so here it is size-wise. Let me show it size-wise so you get an idea with two very, very, very famous slip joints. Here it is with a standard size Swiss Army knife, Victorinox. And here it is with probably the most common slip joint out there, the case, oh my gosh, give me a second, Trapper. The two-bladed Trapper is the knife I see the most, the slip joint out there I see the most. I know Case sells tons of them, and so do a lot of other brands, and they're usually about that size. So it is the perfect size. He nailed this size, I believe, because you have, see, neither of these have half stops, and they both close nicely, but it's just not as lovely an experience. When I think of single-bladed swayback Jack, the one that comes to mind is the number 47 from Great Eastern Cutlery. I love this knife. This was my white whale for a while, and then through the goodness of Mike Latham's heart, he sent me one. This is a factory second. It has a crack in the beautiful plum bone right there, making this a second, so it's stamped with an S right there. And man, beautiful knife. I like that it has a lanyard hole because it's large. Maybe just a little large. I think that his size of this knife is perfect. It is perfect. And I also like the reduced sway in the swayback. This number 47, this is my favorite Great Eastern Cutlery knife. I do love this knife. A couple of other good ones. That's the improved Trapper. There's a clip point in there, but I want to show it with that nice slender Wharncliffe. Here's the number 62 with unicorn ivory micarta. I love that unicorn ivory. Only one unicorn died to get me this knife. And then last for size is a very common size. That's the number 15. And if you look, they're kind of almost 15 is still a little bit smaller, but yeah, anyway, there you have it. I absolutely love this knife, and am grateful to know to know Ben and to have witnessed his, I'm not going to call it a journey, witnessed his process, because you can learn a lot from this guy. He is not only an incredible designer of slip joint knives, but he is a hell of an entrepreneur, and he did this whole company, Jack Wolf Knives. He's done it totally right so far. I think he's just killing it. So hats off to you, buddy. And this is one hell of a knife. This is the laid back Jack, Jack Wolf Knives swayback.